You can play around with your reflections, but I'm going to leave mine at these values. Metalness lets you specify whether your material is a metal or not. 0 means not a metal and 1 means it's a metal. Anything in between is for stylistic purposes. Increasing the metalness to 1 gives our sphere a distinct metallic sheen. Increasing the glossiness alongside the metalness makes the sphere very reflective. Turn the metalness back to 0. Under the refraction section, we have the refraction color, which deals with how much light we want passing through our object. White means a lot of light, and black means no light at all. This is normally used to create refractive materials like glass and water. Making the refractive color white turns our sphere transparent. You can see the plane and surrounding environment through the sphere. Of course, the default refractive index is 1.6, so we have some distortions. Let's hide the plane by selecting it and hitting H on the keyboard so we can see this more clearly. Let's change the refractive index to 0. Change all the reflective values to default and the sphere completely disappears. Let's change the IOR to 1 and we see that there is still no sphere because 1 is the refractive index of air. We have basically created an air material. Let's change the IOR to 1.3333, which is the refractive index of water, and the sphere comes back with its distorted refractions. An IOR of 1.6 is the default IOR, and also the IOR for glass. We're going to leave it at that. The refraction glossiness controls the clearness of your refractions. Lower values give you blurred refractions and take a while to render. I normally use lower values for a frosted glass effect. I want to bring back my plane, so I'm going to open the outliner, select the plane and press H to unhide it. Let's go back to the attributes editor and play with the forecolor. I normally like to put the color of my refractive material here instead of diffuse or refraction color. I feel like the forecolor just gives the most realistic effect when it comes to refractive materials. Affect shadow specifies whether you want the refractive values to affect the shadows cast by the object. Next is bump and normal mapping. This is where you assign textures to specify the relief of a material. It basically adds realism and depth to your textures. Bump maps normally come in grayscale and contain information that specify the height of textures. Click on the checker box beside the map and assign the map that I have linked in the description, or any bump map of your choice. Immediately, we see that our sphere has taken on the texture of the bump map. You can control the intensity of this effect with the bump multiplier. The closer to 0, the less the effect. This is the same process we use to assign normal maps. Just one more thing before the video ends. Let's make our plane look like a metal sheet. Select the plane. In the attribute editor, we see that it still has Lambert 1 applied because we never really changed its material. So head over to Hypershade, right click on plane material and hold, and hover on assign material to selected objects, and release the cursor over assign material to selected objects. This assigns plane MTL to the selected plane. Let's make the diffuse color dark gray and increase the reflection and metalness to their highest values. Now we have a very reflective sheet of metal. I don't want that, so I'm going to reduce the reflection color and reflection glossiness. And now we see that the sheet doesn't really look all that metallic. I'm going to keep tweaking these two values until I find a balance between them. And there, my metal sheet now looks right. I just wanted to do this to show you that there is no hard fast rule to creating materials. As long as you understand what each property does, you'll be able to create any material of your choice without having to memorize arbitrary values. That's it for today's video. If you learned something from this video, subscribe and hit the like button. If not, give me your suggestions in the comment section. I'm all ears. I have nothing to do after all. Anyway, in the next video, we'll learn how to make more materials like wood and ceramic. So subscribe to stay tuned, or don't. Your choice. Or is it really?